Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome to an episode that is retroactively, or a video that is now retroactively part of Marvel Monday. Because I forgot that I needed another episode. That's what happens when stuff happens with your mom and pre-recording stuff. I believe it was going to be Moon Knight. Well, this is easier to do, so I've moved some back. So whatever I say in the next 3 episodes after this, just ignore it. Because today's episode was supposed to be Fan Four Stick Revisited. That's been pushed back to the 18th now. And then next week you're going to get the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy, Nick Fury. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. starring David Hasselhoff. Yes, David Hasselhoff. But we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. So, to start with this, we have to go all the way back to 2021 or 2022, whichever one it was, when it was announced that they did a little teaser where, we're making Deadpool 3, and hey Hugh, you want to put Wolverine again? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so lo and behold, it takes a little while. A lot of these MCU projects are taking a little bit too long to get going. I think that post-Endgame stuff, I don't think they knew what they were doing. A lot of stuff. That's why we got WandaVision in 2021. And then it took 3 years to get the sequel series, Agatha, out, despite them saying that they were going to keep on, they were going to do this. And it took forever. And now we got a lot of stuff coming out in 2026. The Fantastic Four movie. I refuse to call it by the stupid fucking name they comes out next year, finally. Even though we're supposed to have a few more in Phase 5, right? Because the new Fantastic Four movie was supposed to be the start of Phase 6. But there's like 3 more movies in this phase, right? They're supposed to be. I don't know. There's a Blade movie that they say is canceled. I have not heard canceled. I've heard that they've put it on hold indefinitely. That, to me, that's not canceled. That's we're waiting, is what it is. Because there's stuff with directors and scripts and yeah. In my opinion, they cannot cancel the Blade movie because they've already used Blade in a post-credit scene for Eternals, so they have to keep it. Sorry, I know you're saying, well, what about Kang? They resolved that plot line with Loki Season 2. Standing in Loki Season 2. That's pretty much how they resolved the Kang plot line, and they're going forward with Doctor Doom. And if you haven't heard the news about Doctor Doom, I'm not going to spoil it here, but they made a power move. Anyway, let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, alright? So, because they announced this, they kept calling it Deadpool 3, Deadpool 3, Deadpool 3. Which, in all fairness, you probably should have kept the Deadpool 3 name. I know, this is Marvel Studios where they don't use numbers, except for Iron Man. But when you have the first 2, Deadpool and Deadpool 2, and the third one's called Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't know. It just, to me, the naming scheme doesn't fit. But anyway, the plot of this movie, and yes, there is a plot. Don't listen to people who say this movie has no plot. There is a plot. They're trying to save Wade's universe, is what it is. Wade is taken aside by the TVA, Mr. Paradox from the TVA, who wants to bring him into the MCU, the 616 timeline, but he's going to destroy the rest of Wade's timeline. How he thought that Wade would just agree to this is beyond me. Wade decides, fuck that, I'm going to find a way to save my timeline. That's the most unspoilerish thing I could say without going into full spoilers. So, yeah, the trailers we got for this were interesting. Because they showed some cameos, they didn't show other cameos. Like, what pissed me off, a week before the movie was going to come into theaters, they showed a trailer where they revealed Daphne Keane as X-23. Why the fuck would you do that? The only reason you do that is so you could, hey look, she's in this movie, come watch it. Remember that little girl from Logan? She's all grown up now, come watch the movie. That is the only reason why. And then, immediately once the movie was released, like, literally, the same night this movie released, the own people that did this movie, people that made this movie, the night they had the premiere for this movie. This movie was supposed to come to theaters. The Thursday night it was coming to theaters at the Marvel thing at Marvel at Hall H or whatever. They had the Deadpool and Wolverine panel, and they brought out every single fucking cameo that was in the movie. And then people were recording it and putting it online. I did not watch it then. That didn't stop people in my Marvel group from posting it. Not that, but posting it. Although I will tell you, I said in my whole video that I was basically spoiled on everything. There was one cameo I was not spoiled on. And there was one other thing in the movie that I also wasn't spoiled on that made me freaking jump up. If you want to count the thing in the credits, that's also three things that I wasn't spoiled on. So, yeah. We'll get to it. So we start, much like with Deadpool, in medium res. Like he has in his first two movies, so we're keeping with that. And so he explains to us, that he messed up. And so basically what he did at the end of the last one. They don't specifically go into why they split up, but he and Vanessa are no longer together. I have a problem with the way this story starts. Because he states that he has, he doesn't belong to anything. And I'm like, that was the plot of the last fucking movie, was that he didn't belong to anything. By the end, he had a freaking family, right? Now, you can say, well, he went back in time and changed things, so now he doesn't have that. But, the only three that are saved are Shatterstar, somehow he survived, Peter, Rob Delaney's character, and his girlfriend. I forgot her name already. No. I forgot her name. But she's saved. Right? Everybody is there, including that guy with the beard from the bar who doesn't get a word. He said, you're not allowed to talk, or whatever he says, at a birthday party. He's working at a car rental store because they would hire someone with that face. He's wearing a wig, and he's at his own birthday party. He makes a wish. Some people thought that the wish was the thing that was going to cause the thing, but no. Apparently they know about what he did using Cable's thing to travel back in time. They don't care. This Paradox guy is there to offer him to join the MCU because his universe is going to die. And why is it going to die? Because his universe's anchor being died. That's another thing that's confusing. Before I get into this, there's another thing. There's a flashback to 616. That's the Marvel universe, the MCU's universe, where he is in an interview with Happy, wanting to join the Avengers. Now, I had already heard about this in the Marvel group, and I was like, what? Why is this in the movie? This makes no sense in the context. They make it seem like, and this is in 2018, so Tony Stark was still alive, but they make it seem like he used Cable's time travel thing to go there. Is the time travel thing didn't jump universes, he just time traveled. I don't understand how he's in the Marvel Earth. The only thing I can think of is this is complete and total bullshit that Wade made up just to, because he's the narrator, right? So who's to say any of this is true? The only thing I can think of, this is bullshit that Wade made up. And then we get treated to a fight. So he says he came here to find Wolverine. We'll find out why later, but I kind of just spoiled already, but because I skipped this whole thing. So everyone's like, oh, this is the forest from... When everyone was talking about trailers, oh, this is the forest from Avengers Age of Ultron. No. This is the forest from Logan. And he came and found the body still with the adamantium skeleton. And he has a fight set to Bye by NSYNC, which speaks to my childhood, my young teenage years. But this was another thing that was spoiled because people can't shut the fuck up. But I didn't realize there was a fight into it, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So, yeah. So, okay, let's go back to what Paradox says. He says that Wolverine is his universe's anchor being. A person who, if they die, that entire universe ceases to exist. A lot of people, I've heard about this, a lot of people say Tony Stark was the MCU's being. They say sometimes it takes thousands of years for it to work. It could work. That could make sense. However, there is an issue here. Wolverine dies in 2029. This movie takes place in 2024, which means Wolverine's not dead yet. He hasn't died yet within the timeline that this movie is happening. It's 2024. Wolverine hasn't died yet. This is presented as if this is the same universe. They're all the Logan universe. Everyone said that Logan took place on a different timeline, in a different Earth. But no, it's confirmed it's the same Earth in the future, 2029. His death hasn't happened yet. So Wade's first instinct, instead of letting his universe die, is to go find a Wolverine to replace him. And I'm sitting here watching this whole montage of him trying to find a Wolverine, I'm thinking, but he's still alive in 2024. He hasn't died yet. I even looked it up. Logan takes place in 2029. Wolverine isn't dead yet. I imagine by this point, I don't know. Because Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Colossus and Yukio are still there. So maybe what happened... See, that's where Deadpool taking place in this universe doesn't really make sense. Because when did Charles's brain thing happen that killed everyone? And they said that no mutants were born for 25 years by the time that movie happened. I assume Yukio and Negasonic Teenage Warhead were teenagers, so they would have been born within that 25-year period. So, and then there's the Fire Fist guy from the last one. They don't even address this because they don't care. I don't know. I don't know. But keep in mind, in 2024, Wolverine is technically still alive. I'm just saying. So, we get a montage of Wolverines. There's a comic accurate short one. There's one that's stuck on an X. That's for some comic book, I'm sure. I don't know it. There's the one with the eye patch. There's one with the yellow and brown suit. There's... Until he finds the one. The worst one, they say. So, yeah. It takes some convincing, but... He eventually says, hey, we can save your universe. He convinces them that they can you can change things. Maybe that's later. I don't know. But there's a fight. They both get pruned. They go to the void. Okay? And there's a fight between them. We have a fight. There are two fights in this that seem unnecessary. One seemed unnecessary to me. But two of them, they fight for no reason. Really. Like, this one they're really fighting for no reason. Because Wolverine didn't want to be there. And they're just fighting. And then later they fight to have a fight. I don't know. This movie is only just a little over 2 hours, so it's not that long, but still. There's a decent use of slow-mo in this that I felt like we didn't need to do. Yeah. Paradox is going to use this special device that's supposed to speed up the destruction. So he and Wolverine are supposed to find a way to stop it. So now we're stuck in the void for most of the film. And we get our first cameo. Chris Evans. Boy, did I not see this coming. No. I mean, there's been all that, rumors before this going into, we're going to see Fox characters. We're going to see all those. Electro was a rumor. They even said that Daredevil was confirmed. Well, he's mentioned, but he's not in this. Ben Affleck is not in this movie. I imagined it was because Jennifer Garner is, and they don't want to be around each other. So, I mean, they do have kids. I guess they have to deal with each other, but I don't know. He is mentioned though, but Chris Evans is here, and he's talking a little bit weirder. But he's like, "Hey, us good guys gotta stick together. We can't always fight each other. If we're fighting each other, we're never gonna get anything done." So he points out that there's someone out there, and we gotta stop her. There are others out there, freedom fighters, that want to stop this Cassandra Nova. We find out was her name. And we gotta stick together. So we get the run-in with the bad guys. This is where we get all the cameos that were in the trailer. There's Toad. It's Ray Park. Ray Park is Toad. There's Juggernaut, not played by Vinnie Jones. Pyro, played by Aaron Stanford. Psylocke, not played by Olivia Nunn. There's a bunch of those mutants from X3 that no one cares about. The Russian, not played by Kevin Nash, but played by someone else who looks like Daniel Kudamore, but it's not, I don't think. Sabretooth, played by Tyler Mane, the Michael Myers from the Rob Zombie movies. Yeah. And so, yeah, we knew he was going to be in a movie that was in the trailer. They set up this fight, and the way that Wade was talking, "Oh, this is big, this is you too, it's your brother," and they don't deny that, even though they should, because they're not fucking brothers. But anyway, the way the building goes, I'm like, this is going to be a quick death, isn't it? Sure enough, they jump at each other, and then Sabretooth's head comes off. Wolverine kills him. He's like, that stickity snuff. And then they get captured. Well, sort of. Well, so Chris Evans steps up to the plate. He's talking all this shit, and he's like, "Oh my God, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it." Again, this got me. Because Deadpool is like, "Avengers, assemble." But that's not what he says. He says, "Flame on!" And I went, why did I not see that coming? That was, okay. Got me. You got me. That one got me. I knew all the other ones. People won't shut up. But this one did not get me. You got me. I mean, this one did not get to me. This one did not leak to me. This one got me. Shit. It doesn't last long. He flames up. He fights Pyro. Pyro just takes him down. He falls like 25 feet but survives somehow. I don't know. But then they're all captured and taken to Cassandra. Yes, one of the things that they have there is the Fantastic Car with the 4 on it. That's not from Johnny's universe because they never used that one. The one they had was the 4 put together one. This is like a base car thingy. I don't know. It looks too old school for it to be the one from the Fox movies. I don't know. Mika Sandra Nova, she is Xavier's sister. Apparently, she was so powerful that she was pruned at birth. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and they're inside a giant Ant-Man or Giant Man, dead Giant Man. And yes, that's also spoiled in the trailers. Oh, Paul Rudd finally aged. Why are you spoiling? All the best one-liners, by the way, were spoiled by the trailers. And I want to point out, I feel like there's way too much fourth wall breaking. We get it. How many times did he have to say he's Marvel Jesus? How many times did he have to wing at the camera and go, that was a movie? Come on. Just not everything has to be a fourth wall break. They did the fourth wall break in the first one. This feels like every 5 minutes there's a fourth wall breaking joke. Because that's what Deadpool does. But not every 5 minutes. It's just ridiculous. There's allusions to Wolverine being Australian. There's, a bunch of other fourth wall breaking jokes. It's just, enough is enough. You don't need that many in a movie. It gets annoying after a while. But also she has control over Eliath, I guess. And she has this thing where she sticks it. And yeah. So they take off. They eventually escape. And they've got to find these rebels, right? Well, they find Nice Pool, who is just Ryan Reynolds with long hair and a Deadpool suit without the mask. Oh, and Dogpool. And the way they promoted Dogpool, I thought she was in more of this movie. By the way, in the comics it's a he, but and she, you, am I right? Anyway, so it's his dog, and he's like, hey, I can get you somewhere to go. So it's a car that he talked about earlier when that he said was shitty then, and now he's here and they drive it. And it's during this car drive that Deadpool lets it slip that maybe the TVA can't save his universe. And they get into another fight. It's not needed, but it happens, and then they black out, and they wake up in a cave. Yes. Did you know that Tony Stark built this in a cave? No, not that cave. But it's a cave. Get what probably would have been big pop moment for someone who wasn't fucking spoiled on the internet by the cameos, but was still cool to see. We get Jennifer Garner as Elektra, like I said earlier. Wesley Snipes as Blade, who, by the way, is not a Fox property. He was New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers, so you're lucky you got him. I mean, they own Blade now, but that was not a Fox property, and people seem to forget that. X-23, who comes out last. She was spoiled in the trailer, but the biggest one, the one that everybody wanted to kind of see and kept kind of hoping would be there, someone who I was spoiled on and kept quoting. I forgot how it goes. Well, I was born ready for this. Ooh, I'm going to make my name for myself here. You let everybody know what happened here today. It is Channing Tatum as Gambit, which is a movie we never got. There's even a line where he says, I think I was born here. Yeah? Because he never got his movie. And then, of course, Deadpool has to make a joke about how some people never even got a chance or something. So, yeah, they're the outsiders. It's a nice ensemble. Could have used a couple more X-Men. I think James Marsden would have been cool. Halle Berry, people saying Halle Berry should be. They mentioned Daredevil. Daredevil died. Apparently, Elektra doesn't care. I don't know. I feel like just a couple more. Because you got all these bad guys showing up. A lot of them are the D-list bad guys, but there's more bad guys than there is the good guy thing. You know? Just, I don't know. I feel like a couple more could have worked. Especially when, like, X-23 is spoiled with a trailer that comes out a few days before the movie does. You feel like you could have worked more in there, right? Especially when you have Chris Evans as a throwaway gag at the beginning, because he dies. Cassandra Nova kills him because Deadpool spills out the stuff that is supposedly bullshit, but spoiler alert, in the post-credit scene, God, I miss when these were serious. In the post-credit scene, Deadpool rewinds the movie, basically, and shows you that everything that he said, that Johnny Storm said about Cassandra was true. I get it's a Deadpool movie, but I miss when post-credit scenes were serious. When you were waiting for these post-credit scenes to tease another movie. I know a lot of the teases, people need to be fucking patient, first of all. But people are like, oh, they're showing, there's like a meme or something on the internet as a picture, all the post-credit scenes. Everything that hasn't come true yet, or that will not come true. And I'm like, just because we haven't picked up on any of this, okay, I'll give it to you. The Kang stuff is not, we're not going to have a conclusion to. I'm assuming anything with Eternals, because it did not do good. Forget about that. I'm still holding on to the Blade post-credit scene, though. But, there's still, come on. They're even pointing out the post-credit scene from the Marvels. That just fucking came out. Come on. I mean, it came out earlier this year, right? Yes? Or no, last year. It came out last year. But still, came out very recently. Deadpool was the only one that came out this year. So, yeah. So now, they've all decided to work together, except for Wolverine. He's done. He's not, until X-23 talks to him. We find out some things about his universe, like all the X-Men are dead, which is really the same thing that happened to our Wolverine in 2029. It hasn't happened yet. But, to each their own. They go an extra mile at saying after they died, he started killing not just bad people, but anyone, I guess, which is why he's from Sodom non grata in his universe. I don't know. That's later. But, yeah, so... Yeah. So the plan is that they need someone that can block Cassandra Nova's powers, and immediately Deadpool's like, "Oh, Magneto! Oh, he's dead." And I like this is one for wall-breaking moment because I agree. He looks at the camera and goes, "Really, Disney? You couldn't shell out for that? But these guys? No Patrick Stewart or no Ian McKellen, no." Not even Michael Fassbender would say, "I'll do it." That was not Michael Fassbender. Anyway, so the Freedom Fighters fight down below and try to get the helmet, while Deadpool and Wolverine go after Cassandra. Eventually, they do get the helmet, and X-23 is able to throw it in there in her bag, and they put it on her for some reason. And that stops her powers. That's not how it works. Like if Charles put on Magneto's helmet, sure, he wouldn't be able to get his powers through. Maybe. I don't know. it's just never been used that way. I was waiting for like Deadpool to put it on so she can't use his powers on him. He puts it on her, and I went, that's never been used that way. Like that kind of helmet thing, never been used that way. I don't know. I don't know. And this works, and they're like, it's also revealed that Pyro is secretly working for Paradox, and he comes in and starts shooting. And I did laugh at this where he starts spewing off like some dialogue, and Deadpool is like knocks him out and goes, "Not everyone gets a can't think of the word. You know what I mean?" But yeah. So he's not died. He's not dead yet. He does die, but he's not dead yet. But and I don't like this because like she's dying, but Wolverine's like, you gotta take the helmet off. No, you don't. No, you don't. She can see my universe. Who cares? Let her die. You gotta take it off. No, you really don't. And he's even saying basically the same thing I'm saying. No. You can find another way. No, you gotta take it off. And she's like, well, I promise to kill you. But takes it off and she doesn't kill them. Instead, she takes out a sling ring. Apparently, she killed a Doctor Strange variant. Took the sling ring and sends them back into Wade's universe. Okay. Because that's what we saw in the trailers. I think my theory of a lot of people's theories too is that was going to lead to them jumping into Endgame. And they were there the whole time. I think that would have been better. But we still got more of the movie left, so I understand. They crash land in the car dealership that Wade and Peter work for, and then proceed to go to the TVA, whose office is there for some reason. The TVA's office exists out of time. How is there just one in a subway thing? I don't know. They go there to confront him, but Cassandra gets wind of what Paradox was going to do. But he was only going to destroy Deadpool's universe. Apparently I don't know. So she breaks through. And they try to stop her, but they can't. And so she throws him through a building, which is what you see in the trailer. So when they go to fight in the trailer, you don't know who they're fighting. I thought it was like Cassandra's people, but apparently they mentioned the Deadpool Corps earlier, and that's what this climactic battle is. I was a little disappointed when that's all that amounted to. I'm like, really? This is what we're doing? Because we mentioned them earlier, we gotta have this fight now. Nice Pool the dog comes back, Nice Pool comes out. Oh, sorry. Because Ryan Reynolds is Canadian. But, and then it happens. Something Wolverine fans have wanted for 24 years. It happens. This was another thing that was not spoiled for me, and I just lost it. Imagine how it would have been throughout the whole movie if stuff wasn't spoiled for me. But anyway, they get ready to fight. You get the song, "Life is a Mystery." As they get ready, they're standing there. And they're standing there. Are you ready for this? Let's fucking go. And he goes like this. And he starts pulling something up, and I went, no way. He puts on the fucking mask. And they proceed to just kill a bunch of Deadpool variants. Oh, by the way, Nice Pool doesn't have the regenerative. I could have gone without the joke. Because The first time was fine, but then he does it again, where he goes through and he gets shot. He goes, "When do you start regenerating? Regenerate? Oh." And then he just does it again. I do like how they don't shoot when Wolverine walks past with the dog. And then this is when they have the fight. And yeah, they kill a bunch of the motherfuckers, but they come back because it's Deadpool. And then they're saved by Peter in Deadpool's costume that was in Deadpool's locker at the car. The automobile, the car's dealership. There, the dealership. They mentioned at the beginning of the movie that Peter has the suit in there, but Wade's not a superhero anymore at the beginning, and he gets this suit from the TVA because you gotta have a new suit in every movie. So now, yeah, Peter's got it, and apparently there's a Peter in every universe, which means that officially Peter has replaced Weasel. Because I'm pretty sure if TJ Miller hadn't did what he done, or done what he did, I can't speak English, he would have been the one, because he's the best friend character, and now Peter has retroactively replaced him as that. So, yeah, they don't, yeah. And then we don't see the Deadpool core anymore, except for the dog later. So they go to stop Cassandra Nova, and they're told by Paradox that she's going to use the machine to destroy all the universes. And that the only way to stop her is to go down and destroy the machines, which will unleash matter and antimatter energies, which would destroy whoever did it. So they go down there, and Deadpool says, "I'm gonna do it," and then again starts cracking jokes, and I'm going, "We're in the fucking climax. This is not time for fucking jokes." It's like, and he even says, "I'm stalling." I'm like, well, shut the fuck up and go do what you're supposed to. There's time for jokes. Sometimes this is just too far. We're in the climax. We don't need to be making jokes and even breaking the fourth wall again by saying, "I'm just stalling." We know. Just get to it. So he breaks one of the things, but can't reach the other one. You know what's gonna happen. Wolverine basically breaks through, grabs onto him, does the other one. Cassandra Nova is destroyed somehow, and it saves his universe. Yeah, and all the universes basically. Also, B-52 or wherever it is from Loki shows up too. Because spoiler alert for Loki season 2, she's in charge of the TVA now, and Paradox was doing this very illegally without the TVA's knowledge. So, yeah, he in trouble, even though he should be dead because she fingered his head. That sounded wrong, but like, he's in trouble. He in trouble, and magically the universe has been reset, and this is where I got frustrated. This Logan is going to stay in this universe. Need I remind you, Wolverine from this universe hasn't fucking died yet. So, there are 2 Wolverines in this universe, which is a TVA no. I'm not moving on that. Logan does not happen until 2029, which means Logan will not die until 2029, which means there are currently 2 Wolverines in 2024 Deadpool's Earth. And we find out that Laura is alive. They said X-23. They said, "Hey, there's good people out there. Can you try to help them?" So Laura's alive. Apparently, there was the deleted scene where some days deleted scene, some days not. It was a fully deleted scene, a full scene that was deleted, where Gambit jumped into his universe or wherever he's supposed to be from. Apparently, they're on some TVA screens somewhere that show it. I wasn't paying attention enough. But yeah, and it looks like he and Vanessa, I remember her name, might be getting back together. Why were they apart in the first place? There was a little thing in his side of his mind, but we never really learned why they broke up. There's really no reason for it. Some people uh, hypothesized that it was because they were gonna have a baby, maybe they tried and they couldn't do it or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, the post credit scene is just bullshit. But there's something in the credits that's actually pretty cool. That actually brought a tear to my eye. They do a tribute to all of the Fox superhero movies since X-Men. I know, and interestingly enough, Blade is not in there because he was not a Fox movie, but he's in this movie. But you know what I mean. And it was touching. There was a lot of bloopers and stuff. There's two interviews. One with Hugh Jackman from the first X-Men movie, and one from Ryan Reynolds on the set of X-Men Origins Wolverine. So, kind of the start of both of them being those characters. So, it's kind of cool. It brought a little tear to my eye, you know what I mean? And that was kind of cool. It doesn't dismiss the continuity errors in this movie. So I'm going to give it a pretty good. I enjoyed it, but their logic is skewed. There's technically 2 Wolverines on Deadpool's Earth now because Logan doesn't die till 2029. That I feel like, and if bringing that Logan over to that universe reset everything, Logan hasn't died yet. So why would it even... it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm this guy, and I'll see you in the next one.